When did you start going gray?
Early 20s.
Oh. Okay.
Like I first started getting my first grays. Yeah.
So wait, how old do people think you are for the most part?
I said mid 40s.
Because you have like daddy energy.
Thank
That was
Tia. That kind of, I felt something right there.
Okay.
I knew what Tia was saying.
You get what I was saying?
I knew what you were saying.
Oh my God, keep it in your pants.
Hey yo, my name's Krit.
I'm Tia.
I'm Michael.
And welcome to Island Fever, where grown Pacific Islanders talk about grown things and all things sex, dating, and relationships. And today is Sex in the City. We're going to talk about, well, our guiding question is to hoe or not to hoe. And so, I don't know, I thought it'd be fun if we start off with Baywatch and we talk about the movie itself, that this episode is inspired by, Sex in the City.
The movie, sorry, I'm not on airplane mode, and my mom just texted me.
Oh, damn.
I'm so sorry.
How does your mom feel about the podcast, by the way?
Oh, my mom knows. Mom knows every...
Oh, y'all are living
like,
Sex in the City. Yeah.
Literally, I'll be like, I had sex with somebody last night.
Oh, wow.
We talk about it, yeah.
Damn, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool. My mom's young.
Yeah.
A lot of
She's a cool
the
mom.
reason why I'm the way I am is because my mom was a 25-year-old divorcee.
Yeah.
Single mom. And so I have lived my life saying, oh, your 20s have to be free. You got to be free. You got to be by yourself. When we talk about decentering men, I have not ever centered a man in my life, ever. And so, yeah, she knows about it. I have asked her not to watch this, though.
Yeah, how detailed did you get with your mom? Like, yeah, I slept with this guy last night. It was like this. We started in this position.
No. I'll tell my friends.
big.
Like, I am a girl that's like debriefing moment to moment. My mom will know little details.
Okay, well, on that note, Sex in the City, which character do you most relate to?
Who do you guys think I relate to most?
Samantha.
Oh, that was real quick. And why is that, Michael? Why are we looking at Tia like she's Samantha?
Oh, Tia's sexual. And
I mean, all the women are sexual. They all having sex. They all popping their pussies. So
They
why?
are.
no,
They're
Samantha's on another level. Samantha is totally okay with quick hookups, with, meaningless sex, if you want to call it that. Because it's not as weighty for her. And so she's free to do what she wants.
Right.
Yeah.
So is he right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I
you.
love Samantha. I'm trying to transition out of it. But not totally.
To who?
Charlotte.
That's so interesting because, well,
Okay, go.
for me, it was like, who would I want to date? And Samantha is the type that I'm attracted to, just because I can feel that sexual energy. It's okay. There's not anything like too serious if we fool around. But yeah, the Charlotte is, that's like who you'd want a wife.
Yeah, because she is like, I'm a wife.
Yeah, and Samantha could become Charlotte, but in this movie, Samantha's never Charlotte.
No,
she never once shows like I can be in a committed relationship healthily and totally okay.
Yeah, and her whole story in this is I love me more than I love you, which I get and I love, and I've acted. I love that about Samantha, is that her life is not about men. Her life is about having sex and having friends. My theory is that like this is one of her friend groups. She's like, and it's not even her coolest friend group, but she's the coolest one in the friend group, and she has other friends she goes to.
And that's why she ain't in the and just like that, because she hanging out with her real girls.
Yes. I think so.
Right.
But also, Charlotte is like the most down ass bitch. She is like, she also has that meme that goes around where she's like, I just want to get fucked. Like, I just want to get my back blown out. And I'm like, yeah. And she's still a wife. I'm trying to transition, like, still have that mentality, still be a girl boss, still like have sex and stuff. But I'd much rather be like, the hoe that was turned into, like, not a housewife, but a wife.
I'm gonna put it like this: you have Charlotte in there, and you've kind of boxed her in, and you've shown Samantha for a long time, and now let Charlotte out.
Wait, but you're a Sex and the City fan, to be clear.
I am. Yes, I've seen it probably like 1,000 times. I know all the lore. I love them. I love And Just Like That. It's like an insane show.
Yeah.
Yes, I love them so much. And
so gushing, like Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. This is my like
right.
Literally. I did not picture my like marriage. I pictured having a Carrie Bradshaw apartment.
Yeah.
Being a writer, having fabulous friends, having the gays around, like just having.
Looking at me when she said having the
gays
around.
This one, having your gays, and just having a fabulous life. And dating in a city. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, okay. I'm entering the age. They were 33 when the show started. I think Samantha was 35. You know, as you get old, I think when you're like watching it, you're like, oh my God, they're so young. And then you get to the age and you're like, they are so young. It also came out in like 98 and it still is relevant today.
Yeah.
They still are. Yeah, I love it. I'm Niagara Falls. It's my life. So Krit, who do I think you would be, please, I'm saying this with love. I think you're like a Miranda.
I knew you was fucking gonna say that. Cause she's controlling?
No, because she has good judgment. She's the only one in that show that will tell people you're fucking crazy, because Carrie needs to be told she's fucking crazy.
Oh, she gets on my fucking nerves.
And Miranda has logic. She's a lawyer. She has logic. She's still having fun.
Oh,
she's getting dicked down in this movie.
And she getting tongued down and scissored down and just
the
like
new
that.
one, fingered in the kitchen.
And good for her, good for him, making her.
Yeah, so I mean, all of these women are like having sex and enjoying life, but Miranda gets a bad rap. But I think you are.
Do you see she got fingered in the kitchen?
Yeah.
I've been fingered in the movies and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What?
I know that was
Why
fucking
were you
weird.
doing that? That's a 4D experience.
So only movies that like win awards.
What about Everything Everywhere All at Once made you want?
Yeah, what part was it like? You know what?
I don't know. I just know not to wear. This has happened twice at the Grove, and I was wearing shorts, so I no longer wear shorts.
We might need to bleep out the names.
If you
of
go
these
to
theaters.
the Grove AMC, maybe wipe down the seats.
No, I mean, and I'm not into
there.
that. I'm not even into getting fingered like that. And I was just like, they'll put their hand on, and I'm like, yeah, fine. And then what? I'm like, oh, like you just watch me eat veggie grill, like the fuck.
Yeah,
anyway,
okay,
did you
maybe
guys
that
have
was
popcorn?
sexual.
Oh wait, and can I just say this one guy at Rocco's? Rocco's is a club at West Hollywood. Men are filthy.
Yeah.
This is just to tell you, men are fucking scumbags. This one guy, we was talking, and he started putting his hands around. I was like, all right, and then slipped it down my back.
Oh, you told me this story.
Sniffed his fingers, and I was like, what the hell? And his cousin goes, what are you smelling? And he put the fingers to the cousin, like. What's wrong with y'all, Michael? What's fucking men are filthy.
Don't say men are filthy.
But
women
they are, but
women
you
are
are.
like that. Women are like that.
Sniffing fingers up, did they just put up somebody's hole? No, they don't do that.
I was
No,
at my
but
I was at my
cute
friend's
about
birthday
it.
party. He also did karaoke at his party like we did at yours. And I was dancing up on a table. I did Love by Keisha Cole. And like they're like, get up on the table, and I was like, yeah, let's be funny. Like let's get the thing going.
Right.
So I jump up on the table, I'm dancing, and these old ladies pulled out, because they had like their aunties there. So it was like a bunch of young people
aunties.
and a bunch of aunties. They pull out some money, and
Did they put a finger up your asshole?
I'm
Michael?
like, so I get $7 right here,
Yeah.
and then I get this lady putting money down here, and it was full on like down my mooly crack.
But did
but
she
not
put?
your finger
did
in
she
your butt.
penetrate your hole? Is the question.
I didn't hang around long enough to find out if that's what she was
No,
trying to
they
do.
wouldn't do
Okay.
that
But
though. They wouldn't.
She put a
Come
dollar
on
bill
now.
down there.
That's
That's
normal.
whatever. That's like G-rated.
Right.
That's not violating community guidelines.
Exactly.
Auntie?
Aunties do that. Aunties are extra feral.
Right. And she
I
probably
can't wait
seen your
to get to
TikTok.
that age.
Yeah, she probably seen
I
your
would be
TikTok.
putting a
She already
finger in
knows
your
what's
butt.
up.
But it's not like that comes out of nowhere. I'm saying women are the same. Women are just as
No,
feral.
they're not putting
Feral,
fingers
Men-
up holes.
Not this. This
Men,
is dirty.
it's good to know this. Women are just as horny as you are.
Yes,
Sure,
not
but
dirty
they're
and
not-
nasty
yeah.
and gross.
Hello, thank you. Tim.
Don't shame. Hey,
Thank you.
women, it's okay. Let your freak flag fly.
He said, "Women, put a finger in my butt."
Okay, I did not say that.
Right.
I'm not into that. I'm
Someone's
not into
auntie
that. If I was into that, I would tell you guys. I'm
fingered
not.
me. Okay.
Okay.
So getting back to
Who
the
do you
movie.
think he is in Sex in the City?
Well, okay, to be fair, I think everyone's a mixture of a few
Yeah.
characters.
Sure.
So you got some Samantha,
What is Samantha with me?
or at least you used to.
Oh, is this where your
I think
fake
you
prude comes out?
you've come away
No.
from that. From what I don't know you. I don't know if you like just were out banging last night, but from
I
what
was
you've told me
for the-
is like you went through the Samantha phase.
Well, okay, let's put it this way. Samantha loves sex. Like this. So
Yeah, he doesn't love it.
okay, so here's the thing, right? I think you, Tia and Michael, I think you both exude a lot of sexual energy, right? I don't.
Thank you.
And Samantha exudes a lot of sexual energy. I don't
Yeah.
do that. Even though I'm having a lot of sex, I don't give off
Yeah.
sex, right?
Yeah.
I think, and you know, when people find people sexy, I think that's different, you know, because that's very subjective
Yeah.
or whatever. But I think that's what the essence of Samantha's character is. She's someone who's just, you know, she's very
like-
in tune with her sexuality, and I'm not that person, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I get it. Like as far as being hoish goes, sure, yes,
Yeah.
but I'm not there.
Okay, yeah,
Who do you relate
that's
to
fair.
most?
Me, probably Miranda.
Yes.
Well, to be clear, this is a movie about 4 white women, and it was just really hard for me to watch.
Yes,
in general.
yes.
I typically don't watch stuff that's just all white people, and you know they threw in Jennifer Hudson as the help, you know, and I was
Yes,
just like,
yeah.
ooh, it's a little cringy, but I think they play their characters well. I do think the acting was really good. Carrie gets on my fucking last nerves.
As
She
she-
talks
yes.
too much. She wears pearls to bed. The fuck, like, cut it out. And I just, and I get, you know how it's known for its fashion, right? Like New York,
Yes.
everything she wears is fucking ugly. So I
That's
think
the-
that's one thing. It's one thing I have
Carrie?
in common with. Yes, her shit is fucked.
Better
But
than Miranda?
her shit is
No,
worse dress wise.
They're all pretty crazy.
But
It's crazy.
I think Samantha dresses the best out of those 4 women. Like all her outfits in the
Yes.
movie, at least.
Yes.
She was fucking slaying, but the rest of them, some of them had nice moments. Charlotte, I think she had some nice
Oh my god,
shit to it.
you gotta watch the reboot. It's extra crazy. Her outfits make no sense. They're
Whose?
great though.
Carrie's?
Just like it's ridiculous.
Like her. They don't- yeah.
just go. It's just ridiculous. Like yeah, they're crazy women.
Well,
I love
so
them.
for me, I'm not looking at the outfits. As a straight guy, I'm looking at like, give me the sex
Their
scenes, and Samantha always had the best scenes. Just like,
She
oh,
does.
Samantha's on, like, okay, what's gonna happen now? And like, she walks into this office and fucks the UPS driver. You're like, holy shit, that's
Did
hot.
you watch this back in the day when it was on TV?
Yeah.
It was. Were you
Well, no, I
sneaky
wasn't watching
watching
it back then.
Oh, okay.
I watched it with girls.
After
Right, of
after
course.
the mission.
Yeah, after the mission.
Right. Can we tell that real quick? The fact you lived in Puerto Rico for your mission, like,
Yeah,
and stayed a virgin, that fucking blows my mind.
You're
you
saying that
tempted?
because you know me now. No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No,
Yeah,
but I mean, just
not
in
once.
general, like for anybody, like we want to talk about sexual energy, like Puerto Rico,
Rico.
everyone's fucking fine and exudes
Oh.
like so. I'm like,
Puerto Rico is Hawaii with Spanish flair. It's
Yeah.
very sexual. I had people answer the doors like naked, like not like a dude, like a hot chick.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
but I'm sure some
You
dudes
just-
probably did too if they saw you. I'm sure that never happened.
I mean, they got like Santeros, Santeria.
Wait, tell me what it is.
It's like a religion from Africa.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
It's like-
yeah, I know what Santeria is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like really prevalent out there. Anyway, yeah, Puerto Rico was amazing, but the person I was then is so different from who I am now. Like I've had so many experiences that have like helped me get away from where my mind was at then, which was sex is bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you could possibly do. So like I'm in Puerto Rico, yeah, it's a very sexual place, but like I was never thinking like, oh, it'd be cool to like sneak out and like talk to this chick and,
Right.
and maybe
You were that-
maybe we could have sex. Like hell no.
Yeah, this is a really good transition into the section of what's wrong with me when we talk about Toho and not Toho. But before we get to that, because you got a lot of good stuff going, Michael. Real quick, community scale.
Sex
Get
in the
you-
City.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it. So I thought it was a very entertaining movie. Like I was engaged. I liked it. Humidity wise, I'm gonna give this Utah.
very
It's
relevant. Yeah.
it's springtime, so not quite summer, but the snow's melting, and
Dribble.
sun's out. It's warm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's cold as fuck. Like for me, it was again. It's a
Sahara.
bunch of white women that I'm just not interested in. Acting was great. Like I'll give them that. And I think they play the characters as well. The writing was just a little too. Yeah. I don't know. It's a little too on the nose for me in a lot of ways. But yeah.
Like too obvious, just like what the characters were, how they were
just
gonna
like
act.
the little plot, like they literally brought the kids in to hide the man's phone and to to repeat this, or they literally introduced the dog for Samantha to go up and find their naked, like just things like that. I was just like, oh,
like
that's
kitschy conventional stuff. Yeah,
it's just a little ridiculous on that end, but
camp.
But yeah, but as at the end of the day, you can't take away from the fact that it's an iconic show, and I'm gonna let white women have that, and and I'm gonna watch something else. I'm gonna watch Girlfriends. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I would like to say I do watch Girlfriends too, and it is just as good. And I would love if they had like a movie or a reboot,
a reunion movie or something.
They're
right, to close it out.
just as amazing. They're a little more because they were on network TV.
UPN.
A little, yeah.
R.I.P.
UPN.
Right.
But yeah, I do watch Girlfriends.
They didn't have
I need to check
Six
out
in the City
Girlfriends.
budget.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
I need to check it out. Guys,
And the fits are
fellas,
fitting.
watch rom-coms and these shows. Because
Wait, hold on. So you never had any? So
It
this,
helps.
you know what this tells me? So you've watched Six in the City through women, but you haven't watched Girlfriends through the women,
Krit.
I know where you're going with it.
Just a little observation there.
Hold on. The last person I watched Sex in the City with, she's Hawaiian. So
What does that mean though? Because Hawaiian means
she's Kanaka
native.
Maoli. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just to clarify, because there's a bunch of people claiming
You
Hawaii.
know me. I would never say someone's Hawaiian who's not actually blood Hawaiian.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, tell it. All right, take that.
Just
Michael.
little tests. We're just
Of
testing
course.
you.
All right,
Of course.
This is gonna come up. In
Okay,
conversation.
past that.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, we'll get deeper into that.
All right. So let's jump back though.
Okay.
What's wrong with me? So I think we all, we've talked a bit about this in prior episodes about the fact that just our cultures are just so conservative. Not by nature, but that's where we're at now because of religion and the military, especially in the US, right? Like that's typically how people have come here. And so, there's a lot of programming, a lot of conservatism. And yeah, to speak about your experiences in Puerto Rico, sex wasn't even on your mind. Like that's wild. Especially as a teenage boy, like even as a gay boy, I had sex on my mind, as much.
Oh yeah, like I said, I grew up masturbating for sure. But on my
feel
mission, I
proud of
masturbated
it?
like twice in 2 years. Yeah, because I was
Oh,
like,
I'm fucking
wonder
gay.
he was like
Yeah.
letting it
and
out.
I like talked to my mission president about it. I was like, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad.
That's a
Yeah.
big thing. Like
Yeah.
I feel like in the church, because I have a lot of family who are Mormon, right? And they talk about so much like porn addiction is a huge thing, and I'm like, it's like literally labeled as such a strong like.
Well, and I have so many thoughts about that. When you connect shame to something,
Yeah.
whether it's drinking or porn, and you feel like you need to hide it, and sex, then it becomes this monster
No,
that you
and-
can't fucking control.
right.
And now it's like becoming this dark thing that's sitting
Yeah.
in your gut all the time. So that was something I learned from growing up LDS, is like, because I had that with masturbation. They called it self-abuse, right? So I grew up with that, and I was like, okay, I learned as I got older, I was like, hey, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I'm punishing myself if I'm thinking it like that.
Yeah.
And like, it's okay. It's
Wait,
it's
so
all
when did you
fucking
get to
okay.
that point where you were like it was okay? Like who kind of introduced that idea?
Well, no, there was never one moment. It was just like,
Like a
it's it's just been
snowball.
yeah. It's still
The
it's
influence has to come from somewhere, right? Because I feel like you learn that programming, you only start to deprogram that with
Yeah.
certain things. So like, did you read something in particular? Did you have a conversation with someone? Did you
Well,
watch something? Did you come across?
So it kind of started when I left the religion I grew up in, and I went like full atheist. I was like, none of this is real. Like, there's no God, and I went on that whole journey of just partying. Nothing matters. We're all animals. Do whatever you want,
and we are
when,
like, to be clear,
because when
like-
you die, that's it.
right.
And so I was just living my life like that. And after a few years of that, I was like, okay, this actually makes me fucking miserable too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm depressed. And so I had to I had to decide and think about what actually mattered to me.
Mm-hmm.
What do I believe in? What's my Bible, quote unquote? And it started with human connection. I was like, okay, my family means everything to me, and my relationships with like my very close friends, I love them. Like that's real. So that was like the first thing I could hold on to.
Yeah.
And then from there, I started like going out on like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? How do I feel about sex? And so that gave me like that freedom, like let's wipe the slate clean. How do I actually feel about sex? And the way that I was going about sex then was using
Why
people.
are you pointing at me for that?
Because you had been coming.
What the fuck?
I
didn't
come
mean
on now,
that.
Tia. I mean, is he wrong? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I did talk about that. I actually
So-
literally talked
so-
about doing that.
Yeah, that
So-
it was just like alcohol or drugs. It was a way to escape. It was a way to
Yeah.
just have fun.
Yeah. Wait.
And regardless of if that was what they were looking for.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to leave the church in the first place? Like when you started going on this, like none of this matters. Like what was it?
Oh, I mean, that kind of started with watching like my family feuds, and I'm watching this all happen. I'm like, you guys are missing the point completely
Yeah.
because of religion.
Yeah.
And so that was where I first started like looking at religion as like, oh, I don't know, like, yeah, there are positives, but I didn't like that negative.
Yeah.
Because to me, family's everything.
Yeah.
So if it becomes something that can be divisive with the family, then I don't like it.
Yeah, bro. I hear you on that. And for me, I'm the same way. I don't have an issue with religion because we're all looking for meaning somewhere,
Yeah.
right? We're all looking for guidance and stuff. But it does fucking
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
that I don't talk to my dad
Yeah.
because he's like an evangelical Christian. Like,
And your dad's Hawaiian, to be clear.
yeah,
right?
yes, and was in the military and very conservative, and you are quiet and subservient, and obviously I came out the womb like this, and we beefed, and it doesn't, like, I don't speak to him because of his values, and he's not like that, like family over it. It's like, oh, you don't fit in this mold that you're supposed to be in. So my whole adult life has been to like not rebel, because I really think that just being myself is, it's rebellious, but like I'm not intentionally doing that, but it felt better to be myself and live the life and have the values that I have than to be in this like cultish, like I have spiritual, I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't think that, I don't know, it felt very hateful and
Yeah.
conservative, and I couldn't be like a woman that had choices. Like I also wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer. I was like, I'm going to San Francisco. No, I'm gonna be an artist. Like I'm gonna be my creative self.
Yeah.
But I had a moment like that too, because I'm sober, and if you get sober, you know that it just switches from whatever substance you're using into whatever. So I was like, oh, I'm not drinking. I'm having sex with many men, like many men. I'm like, oh, this is the same thing. So I had to like wipe clean and then be like, okay, is this my sobriety? Like, am I going about this in a sober way
Yeah.
and have values towards the sex? Because I think that everybody can have a hoe phase, but my mentality to, bring it back to our hoe-ness is that everyone should go through a hoe phase, but it looks different to everybody. And I think people get stuck in this like, oh, well, they're off being a hoe and I should emulate that. It's like, no, you should, if being a hoe means like, oh, you go to the bar and you kiss a man, like you don't have to go all the way. Like whatever feels good to you, and you need to know that. And you need to know when the hoe phase is over. Like when it doesn't feel good anymore and it doesn't do,
It's not serving you.
it's not serving you. Yeah.
It's
do
not
you
about
feel like
liberation.
going through a hoe phase makes it hard for you to be in a relationship though? Is it like doing heroin, and now you know what heroin feels like,
damn,
and
we
you're
going
like,
heroin.
and you're like, oh, like damn, that's like if you had
Yeah.
never done heroin, then you don't want it.
I think that it is essential that you've gone through some type of, whatever it looks like to you, hoe phase or exploration of people. Though I know people that are couples that have been together forever and that works for them and stuff. But
and never had a hoe phase.
yeah, and like because they've been with their partner and like that works, and I don't want to like put my like sometimes I think jaded single girl like viewpoint onto their relationship. It's none of my business, but I sometimes think that when people don't have that phase and they think that there's other options out there and don't know that it's like not that good, like there's the grass is greener, that they're gonna cheat, or there's gonna be a time in their relationship where they're thinking about that. Whereas you could go out in the streets, experience it to a point where you're like, there's not a lot of fish in the sea.
Here's what's hard about going through a hoe phase is like my last girlfriend knew that I had done all that, and so when I got with her, I was like, I'm all in. Because I've experienced all that.
Yeah.
Like I know what's out there. This is what I want. For her, it was still hard to think that I had moved on.
Was she religious? Can I ask that?
She grew up religious, but no, wasn't religious.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was a huge hurdle for
like
us.
trust
and that was
thing.
ultimately why it ended, was the trust. Thinking that I was still in that mode and mindset.
You can so I got two things. One, I feel like you can be like whatever your inner hoe is or whatever, you can tap into that while you're in a relationship. Like I think it's more about feeling liberated and how you're experiencing sex in general, right? And I don't think it has to mean you're experiencing different partners or whatever. It can look, to your point, it can look different ways, right? And, and I think the other point I had was what I wanted to ask, because in Sex in the City, right? Samantha is basically saying, I love sex, if that's what I want, I want to be free or whatever. And for me, I was like, would an open relationship have been an option for her, right? And and for me, I don't want to be in no open, as it stands, I don't think I could ever be in one because I'd be too jealous. I think I would go fucking crazy if I knew my man was out there doing whatever out in the streets, right? And also because out of just safety, I do believe in the exchange of energy. I don't know what he's bringing home.
Right.
Whether it's STIs or just fucking whatever dark shit, like I've been out there, I know what's out there.
Demonic energy.
Whether it's that or just bad spirits, whatever.
So many thoughts.
Yeah. So I guess for me, I wanted to ask you guys, like, is an open relationship on the table for y'all as of now? Because I know people change and stuff, but I don't ever see myself.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah. And I have no judgment around it.
I've been in one. Yeah, I've been in an open relationship.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and
all right, Michael.
It was her idea, and so we started out with Here was the thing: I didn't want to date her exclusively, so she introduced that idea. To get me to get in a relationship with her.
So
I was like,
sound like her idea. Wait, I mean, sure, it's her idea, but
so the condition was that we would be very honest with each other about anytime we hooked up with somebody else. So I was. And it got to the point where she was like, this is crazy.
Well, okay.
You've been out here and doing whatever you want, and like I haven't slept with anybody.
Yeah.
This is what often happens though, right? In my experience with men, because I will say most gay men in relationships that I know of in LA at least, they're open.
Yeah.
And I will say typically one partner wants it and then the other one just goes along with it, and then they find out that they don't actually want it. And so in your case, it sounds like she didn't really want it, but she did it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like I'm trying to think and put myself in her shoes. If we had gone to an open relationship and I find out that she's like smashing everybody, maybe I would have felt like, oh, I don't know about this. Maybe we should close this, and maybe I would have gotten jealous.
All right, so
so my view on this is that the heterosexuals can't do it because of that. Because I think men, I'm not saying it can't happen, because I would, and I'm not saying I want to be in one, but I think that having an open communication about that, I hate cheating. Like, I think that cheating is just to be sneaky and be a liar, and you like the feeling of being sneaky. You don't like, it's not like this, like, oh, I needed to have sex with somebody. It's like you like being sneaky. Because if it is just the sex thing, then you could have a conversation and open up the relationship, the marriage.
Wait, you think that's the only basis of cheating, is people who like
No, I'm saying, like, if that was the one reason, I'm saying people that cheat because they like the secrecy of it. They like the lying, they like all of that.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
No, that's not true.
You don't
I
think
think
that's
sometimes
disagree. I
true?
people
can
just
disagree with
want
that.
people fucking.
Then you could have a conversation.
Nobody cheats
No.
just to lie.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's the enticing aspect of the cheating.
I think for
like
some
like
people
the,
it might
the
be, but I
hotness
don't
level
think
goes
that's-
up. No.
Yes.
I
I
think some
get
people.
that it's
Okay.
case by case, but I'm saying that sometimes like it's not the actual like act of having sex. It's not like, oh, we didn't have, or like
Well,
there's cheating in this movie.
Yeah, let's think
So
about
like,
it. Like
Miranda and Steve are not having sex, and so he's gone
unhappy.
outside.
Yeah, 'cause he's unhappy.
Yeah, but then there's this like serial cheaters that like cheat in every relationship that they're in. I really think that they like that secrecy aspect. They like sneaking around. They like the danger of it.
I think you're right to.
But
for
not
some
all
cases.
cheating.
I don't think
Could
so.
be.
I think a lot of people. There's so many different reasons people cheat, right?
Yeah.
It could be like this sex addiction. Like these
Yes.
people who are just they just can't. They just like what they see and they fucking go and get it. You know,
Yep.
and it's not and I think that because we have been conditioned that
Yeah.
this is what a relationship should look like, a monogamy especially.
What
Have
I-
either of you ever cheated?
No, I would have to be in a relationship too.
Okay, so no.
Okay, so I
Oh, okay. Is this a defense thing? Because I don't mean that all cheaters are mean.
no.
or
I mean,
evil.
I'll be upfront. I've only been in one relationship, right?
Uh-huh.
I was in the closet.
Yeah.
I was 24. So long time ago.
2
And
years ago.
he wasn't in the closet, but he cheated on me, and I was fucking like devastated. And then we got back together, and we had a fight, and I was just like, well, I'm gonna go hook up with something. Like it was very much that, and so I did
Okay.
it. So it was kind
No,
of
yeah,
dumb.
I'm not
like,
saying- yeah.
And that's the only time I've ever done.
What
Yeah.
I mean by this whole thing of that, like, sometimes I think that cheating is just like you're liking that feeling of secrecy, is that instead of doing the most and cheating on somebody, you could just have a conversation with your partner and
You could.
establish boundaries. And
Sure.
like, that's what I would like. Like, in a perfect world, I would love to have a relationship that if we wanted to and we talked about it, go back out in the streets.
Yeah.
Like, in a perfect world, I would love to be with a guy that's just me and the sex is amazing all the time. And like, I don't know, we live in
All the
LA
time. Damn.
all the time, every single time. But that's not the reality. But I wouldn't want that one thing to destroy whatever the relationship is. And I don't think, it's starting to become a conversation of like ethical non-monogamy. And I just think that we don't talk enough to each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm like fuck convention, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't, but also some stuff doesn't work for me.
But I also think a lot of the open relationships with straight couples is that, which is the guy
Yeah.
goes out, and would the guy be secure enough? Do we have enough boundaries? Do we have rules set? And you establish this, and this is cheating, this is not. And we pick the people, we pick the energy that's there, we sage the apartment after.
Well, so yeah,
she,
Michael.
so she had one hookup. It was she went and visited her friend in Texas, and had a threesome with her friend and her friend's husband. And
Are you gonna?
I was more, for me, it was more like she hid that from me. That came out later. She was.
So she's not being honest. Yeah.
I was more upset that she was hiding that so that she could have this narrative of like, I've been loyal to you. You're out here sleeping with other girls. Like, this is messed up.
Well, okay.
And then that came out. I was like, oh, what? You're doing it too? Like, you did it too?
Well, I mean, not to the same extent, but to your point, like I think it just goes back to it probably was a shame thing too. I would imagine, like.
I thought it was she was keeping that private so that she could manipulate me. To put pressure on me to get in a relationship.
I've had the experience too, where it's a pattern in my life. I find myself the, not the side chick. I don't want to say that because I've never, like, ever been with somebody who's in a relationship knowingly. But there is this thing with men where there's the women that they sleep with and then the women that they're in relationships with. And I think in our community as well, there's the wife and then there's the vixen and there's the Madonna and the whore. And they're separate people instead of being, a Samantha
All
and
one
a
and the
Charlotte
same.
together. And I found myself in that dynamic because I am comfortable in my body and with my sexuality and stuff, where I yearn for a relationship, but because men want to experience me, I only get that. And so I attract a lot of the men that are demonic men that are cheating.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because I'm kind of going into it with like, I'm also really bad at asking if guys are married.
Yeah.
Or in a relationship. Why would I ask that? If you're coming to me, I would assume that you're fucking single.
No, you can't assume shit.
I know, and I have.
Especially dating men, like, you cannot fucking assume. Well, as someone who's also dating men,
yeah.
you can't fucking assume that shit.
No, I know, and I've learned that. And because I'm like, this is a pattern. I literally, like the SZA song, The Weeknd, like that was my life for a long time. And not the side chick. I don't want to say that I was like dating married men. I was not doing that.
Wait, have you cheated, Michael?
I've cheated once.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 26.
Yeah.
And it was a long distance relationship, but I would like totally self-sabotaged it and was.
You just weren't happy, and you know what?
Well, I feel like part of me knew it wasn't gonna work, or like I didn't feel worthy of it in some way, and like still wanted to just do my thing. I don't know. It was a mixture of all those things. Yeah. That was an experience that like taught me, because before that, if you asked me about a cheater, I've been like, yeah, that's fucked up. And then being in it and then coming clean to my partner at the time, that was like so painful and so sad to see how much pain I caused her. I was like, oh, never again. Like, if I ever want to do this again, like, I'll just, like, why not just tell her, like, let's just end it. That would be so much easier and so much less pain on both of us, rather than lying to someone that you care about and, you know, hiding that. So, yeah, that was a one-time experience.
Yeah. I feel like we can talk about this forever, like most things, but we're going to move on now to love letters, which is when, you know, some of the listeners out there send through questions, and I have a few. And the first one is for Michael. How old are you?
I'm 34 years old.
And that's a hot topic for you,
Born
right?
1990. Yeah, no one believes it, especially when I have my full beard, because it's so gray. Everyone thinks I'm like my 40s,
When did you start going gray?
Oh, early 20s.
Oh, okay.
Like I first started getting my first grays. Yeah, but now, have you seen my beard? Just in my photos, like it's like full gray down here.
Santa Claus.
So wait, how old do people think you are for the most part?
It's like mid 40s.
Because you have like daddy energy. That was
Tia. That kind of, I felt something right there.
Okay.
I knew what Tia was saying.
You get what I was saying?
I knew what you were saying.
Oh my God, keep it in your pants.
I'm just grateful. Thank you for the compliment.
Right? I can see 45. That's your white side. I'm sorry, but
I know. See these wrinkles?
I'm trying. Yeah, don't.
See this 11?
That's your white side. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's really annoying though, because men just keep getting like, they age like a fine wine. Like, it's really annoying to me.
Right.
And then women have to look like 14 and pickled. Like, you have to like start really pickling
Get
yourself.
that Botox.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I love a mature woman. I think mature women look so good.
They do. So you.
In what way? Like, what
Sexy.
do you consider mature? The Sex and the City ladies?
40? Wait. What age is mature for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40s.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Our next love letter is for Tia. What's your body count?
Oh, well, it's the beginning of the year. So
not of 2025.
It always resets. So 0 right now, actually really virginal. I'm not saying my body
2 weeks?
count.
You're not saying that?
No, because women, first of all, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, but women are villainized for that. If I have suck one dick, I should go to hell.
Wait, are we talking about oral or?
Disagree.
Wait, hold on.
I do not care if a woman has a high body count.
No, I know you don't care, but
in fact, I'm
Society
like good
does.
for you.
What's your body count?
I'm not
exactly.
I'm not gonna say that.
Why? Okay, why the fuck? Okay, we're talking about letting go of shame on this
How
podcast.
about I say a couple of handfuls of?
I love it.
Well, couple handfuls? Is that what we're saying? Anyway, but to speak to your point about society, they do say that when women say their body count, you should double it, and when men say their body count, you should halve it. That's what I hear. But again, going back to why we started this
conversation. Wait, why should the women double it?
No, because they're saying women don't want to reveal, right?
And men want to brag. No. When I've told girls, and they were like, I didn't want to know that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it also doesn't.
Okay, now I've learned.
Okay,
don't
but
talk
again,
about it.
We're talking about letting go of shame, right?
Yes,
and being and owning that part of ourselves. And I respect your decisions not to answer it, but I will answer this question because I want
Okay,
And hopefully
yes,
y'all
I
take
can't
lead.
wait
No,
to hear because I was trying to figure out a friend's body count.
Yeah.
I do have an extensive list and ratings of every interaction I've had with a man.
So then you have a pretty accurate body count.
Yeah, pretty. It's not that high. I think it's high for a straight woman, but it's not
So
that
then
high.
give it up, Delicious.
You tell us. Maybe
Okay,
this is something we can tease into the other things because, and I'll.
You might. Okay, so they're not
Get-
quite ready now.
I'm not
I can
ready.
tell you mine. Like it's got to be in the thousands. Like it's
Thousands.
literally, yeah. I mean, there are days where I hooked up with between 5 and 10 guys in a day. So if you put into a week, like in a month, like it's easy.
And
10 in a day?
Yeah.
you
Damn,
were.
It's not even, and I'm not even just talking about groups. Like especially like we were talking about addiction earlier. Or
I was
substance
gonna
abuse.
ask you that.
Like when I was using, I was like out in the fucking streets, like really.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
just hopping from place to place.
Yes,
So,
yes,
like,
yes. That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
And it also makes sense of your work ethic.
Yeah.
Sorry, it
'Cause
just really does
If there's
match your
anyone
work
that gets
ethic.
things done,
My
You get things
God.
done.
Krit is on
Yeah.
it. I've been so impressed. Even
Capricorn.
you putting up this podcast, like, so
What?
when you have something in your mind you want to accomplish, I know.
No, it is when
Yeah,
but
I get it.
sex is being a distraction for me. Like again, it's like
This is also prior. You're not just. This is prior to you coming out,
Bart,
and you're not a gold star.
what's
gay.
that mean?
What's a gold star?
A gold star gay hasn't had sex with
Women?
like women. Nothing. You've
Oh,
had
I've
sex.
never had, no, I've never
No,
had
you
sex
never
with
had sex with
I've
women.
always had women sniffing around, but
Did
I've
you
never,
make out with women?
I've made up with, yeah.
Okay.
They're probably a handful.
So, but never had sex with women. Okay.
No.
Okay.
There's so much stuff done with a girl is like maybe feel her tits and fucking pasture.
pash.
Y'all know that word now.
Pash.
And pass her up.
But you didn't. Wait, what was the word we were saying?
Penetration.
No.
she
Well,
wanted,
yeah,
she
penetration.
wanted to get passed. She
Oh.
got passed.
What was it? What do you
Pause.
call having sex? We almost
humping.
made the pod that
Oh, root?
root.
I didn't
rooted.
root her?
You didn't
No,
root.
that's
Oh,
such a
root.
moldy word. I'm sorry for the moldy.
No, I know that word.
Oh, you know about getting rooted?
Root's like crude. It's like a crude way of saying
Oh,
it, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking got rooted last night. Yeah.
Okay,
I
but
fucking
no.
rooted her
Okay.
last night.
Pretty
So
much
those
saying,
were
like,
all
fucked.
men.
Yeah.
And was that all when you came out, or that was prior to coming out?
No, so I came out in 2017. I was literally
And
like
that's
30.
when you started having sex?
No, I told you I was busting
Okay.
it wide open since I was 18. So
Oh, okay.
I've been in the streets like
Dude, wide open's crazy.
no, it was like I have no, I like when we talk about run throughs. I have run through New Zealand. I've run through Australia.
Countries.
I've run through the U.S. I've run through New York, Ohio, fucking San Francisco, Oakland, LA. Like
You still have that in you because I know what you're doing when you post where you're going.
Yeah.
okay, that's
'Cause,
different. I'm talking about no,
from one to another.
no.
I see
Okay.
what you're doing.
Okay. Yes, a little bit, but also
Like,
but
Hey,
I'm-
I'm gonna be in Atlanta.
okay,
me
first
up.
of all, it's
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Slide in.
It's New York. It's New Orleans. But no, a lot of the time. So here's another thing, right? I'm more talk than I am action. Like I will like, and I think this is part of my control thing. Like I will tease guys and like fucking get them, like excited, and then I won't
Bricked
actually
up.
follow through. Yeah. And then I'm just like, and that is very much like I just want to know I can still do it if I want to.
Do you feel like you made it through the whole phase? You're just like you did so much that you're sick of it, and now that's why on your dating profile you're like, you need to be healed. You need to be like totally
absolutely.
self-aware.
No, I'm sick of it, but that hasn't stopped me from doing it. You know.
So
Yeah.
even though that's what you have in your dating profile, you're still down to hoe.
I didn't say I'm still down to her, but I still have my moments of weakness, right? Where I'm
Why
holding
is it a
out.
weakness? Why is it a weakness?
It's a weakness for me because that's not what I want. You know, it's a
But it
weakness for me.
is.
No, it's
No,
really not.
no. I think he's saying it's more of a impulse and
Yeah.
a compulsion. Yeah. Because I talked to my bestie about this a lot, and I check him because I would also want that back at me checked, being like, are you doing this because you want to, or you feel like this is a compulsion, this is something.
Or do you think it's a bad thing and so you want to stop it, or like is it just what you want to do and just do it?
No, for me, I know it's not what I want. And
Yeah.
I know it's not what I want ultimately. And again, I was talking about before about how you need to create space for those things to enter into your life. And I never create that space because I'm just not patient enough.
Yeah.
You know? And
Does
goes
it-
back to that
I'm
control.
like that too.
Does it
but
make
I
you
also
feel bad?
It doesn't make me feel good. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't feel satisfied. I don't feel. I have never experienced sex as an expression of love, and I'd like to experience that.
Oh, I get what you're saying too.
Interesting.
And I also understand it in like kind of addict's perspective of your of like a dopamine rush.
No, that's exactly.
And that's what I'm trying to get out of. And I
Right.
took like a long bout of celibacy
Yeah.
to be like just chill. And then I'm super black and white with
Yeah.
things. So I was like, then that kind of just made me crazy
Mm-hmm.
because I was living that like perfect sober life. I'm not
Yeah.
even doing anything, nothing at all. And I'm so good and perfect. And then I have to sprinkle it in so I can have more connected, less dopamine rush sex.
I think there's still some level of guilt that you guys are connecting with your sexual experiences.
Yeah.
Because I see nothing wrong with being sexually free and doing whatever the hell you want. If you want to fuck 10 guys in one day, great. But that's like
Yeah, but
that,
do you don't struggle with addiction? You don't have like sobriety issues?
no.
Wait,
So it's like a brain thing, I think. It's like, do you feel that sometimes?
Well, I also want to say it's not guilt that I'm feeling. I promise you. It's more. I want to be in love. I want to have a relationship, right? And I have had literally thousands of hookups. It doesn't interest me, but
Yeah.
I go to it because it's something familiar, and it's something. I don't want to say comfortable, but it's something that my body knows.
It makes you feel good.
But it's very temporary, right?
That's okay.
I want some. No, I mean it is okay.
So is hunger.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I'm not judging it, but it's not what I want, right? And so, for me to be in a place where I'm happy, this is never gonna make me happy, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what
You're
I'm
trying to
saying.
break
There's no
the
guilt in
cycle.
it. It's just
But nothing outside of you is going to make you happy. You
right.
you make
Of
you
course,
happy. Yeah.
Of course, but I have to be in a place where I'm no longer compromising and settling for what I don't want, and I think I'm still getting there, right? And so, yeah, I mean,
So
to your point,
if you were feeling better here, then you'd be okay sexually.
well, what does that mean though?
Like if
I'd be
you-
okay hoeing around and shit.
Yes. Yeah. If you felt good with it here, then
No, I think
so. It's not the action. It's more
no. Here's
the
my
self
thing.
journey.
I think if I was good here, I wouldn't be resorting to men to fill me
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm still working, and I think to your point, I need to put on my dating profile as something vulnerable.
Yeah.
I am still a work in
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm still compromising in that
Yeah.
sense.
And
I'm still
I've
saying-
totally been there too. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
All
What's the
Yeah.
next question? Do we have a question?
The next
for you?
question is, when are we gonna be on the next episode?
Oh yes, yes.
No more questions because we run out of time. But again, it's been fun kicking it with y'all.
Love you guys.
All right,
This
love
is
you.
great. I'm
I'm
getting to
enjoying
know
it.
you guys
Yeah,
so
and you were
much
so
right now.
nervous.
I was so nervous.
He was
to
gonna-
come
he
on
wasn't
here and,
even
like,
gonna get on
air
the
out-
plane.
Air out
Bro,
my
he was
stuff.
having
He was gonna
second
fucking
thoughts about
ditch
coming
us.
on, and now there's who's like out here telling me I feel guilty about being hoish, and he's not. I'm like, damn, it's like a whole damn
Yeah,
360.
what the fuck?
No, but I'm so happy to talk about
I
this because
know.
it is something that we just don't talk about in the community.
Well, it's
Sex is
real.
so taboo.
Yeah, it's real, and everyone does it.
Everyone does, but we don't
Yeah,
talk
we
about
don't
it.
talk about it.
So
Yeah.
I'm really glad, especially again, the three of us, we all advocate for our people, right, as Pacific people, and I really think I've never heard anything like this, right, where we really
We
like,
exist today.
yeah,
And people need to see that we exist today.
Yeah.
we need to
Like this.
break down that programming of holding shame around so many things, but especially sex. Like I think that's such a
Yeah.
big thing because that is when we turn to things like addiction, turn to
Yeah.
self-harm, and it's the root of a lot of mental illness.
Yeah,
so,
the shaming.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciate y'all being.
Oh my God, we're like changing lives.
No, I really do appreciate y'all being
You're
vulnerable
welcome.
like this, like and trusting,
Yeah,
and
thank
trusting
you.
each other for doing this. So
Yeah, thanks.
So fam, we'll see you next time, and yeah, bye hoes.
Bye.